Hi, it's me and Yojin again.
Hi.
In this video, we're gonna show you guys the procedure of how to make your shoe, your recyclable shoe, and we're gonna show you step by step what you're gonna do, and you're gonna be able to make your own shoe this way. We did this
because like writing the steps would be too complicated for us and you guys to make the shoe, because it's kind of complicated to explain using words. It's gonna make it more complicated for you guys and us. So this video will make things much easier for you to understand and us to understand.
Okay, so we're gonna start out with step number 1, which is
first getting a
cardboard, which is in our materials.
And then using this cardboard, you get a pen and start tracing someone else's foot. Like if you're trying to make a shoe for yourself, you have to trace someone else's foot that is bigger than yours, or trace your own foot and just make each part of your foot 2 inches wider, because then the shoe that you'll be making, it would be too small for you. So like Sarah has a bigger foot than me. We're gonna use her foot to make my shoe, because that's how it works. Okay, so here we go, using the cardboard. Now Sarah will put her foot on top of the cardboard and we'll start tracing. Go. Okay, after we're done tracing, the next step is, you know how you can see a little bit of those goopy toes
Bumpies
parts?
because of your toes.
Then we're gonna smoothen it out, like, in like straight line like that. I'll show you. After I'm done, I'll show you what I mean. Like straighten it out like that, like, so it's kind of not bumpy, it's straight. So after this step, we'll start cutting the shoe from the cardboard. And after you cut this, you should probably get this.
So that's finished after you're done cutting all of your trace from your foot. Remember that when you're cutting it, if you don't have someone else who has a bigger foot size than you do, and you do the 2-inch, remember to cut around the 2-inch, and don't cut like the first line that you made of your trace of your own foot, so it won't come out right, and you'll have to do it a second time.
Okay, and then the next step is
step number 2,
which Sarah will explain to us.
So step number 2 is we're gonna make holes around the outside inish of the shoe, of your base. And so what you're going to do is there isn't a specific kind of a measurement that has to be between each hole. You want many of them close-ish to each other. And also, when you do this, remember not to do it so much on the edge, because if you do so, which we will explain in the next step, the cardboard might break. So you gotta watch out with that.
The holes might break, and the holes are quite important. And you should make the holes with a hole puncher if it's available in your house, or some device that can make holes, like example scissors or knives. Devices that can make holes, basically.
Anything pointy. We tried it once with a pointy pencil. The only upset about that was that the lead broke, but it still works. So we're gonna start cutting this. And so you see how it's on the inside of it. And so the finished product after this is done is
you should basically get this. And next step, using this shoe, we get another plastic bag like this. And then we put the shoe on top of the plastic bag
and we trace the shoe.
But we're using a different color marker so you can tell which part of the shoe it is. Okay, so you'll see. You trace it beautifully here. After you trace it beautifully, you
will have something
like this.
So you're going to have to cut that
using
a
pair of scissors. Or if you could have a knife to cut it. So basically here, we're cutting it like this. And basically, the finished product
after you finish cutting
should
will end up something
like this. So you see this part. Now we're gonna combine these two shoes, and then we're gonna start making holes on the plastic bag.
So you can see that since you made all these holes in the first one, you're gonna use these holes as a guideline for the back of the plastic. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna puncture holes like Yojina's gonna do at the moment.
Using scissors or pens, but I prefer scissors or a knife. Something pointy that can make holes.
That can make holes through the plastic.
Here.
So she's gonna show you.
I made one, and you can see the hole there. And this is important because we need holes in order to sew this plastic with a carton. And the reason we're sewing this plastic with a carton is because a carton is too sensitive when it's exposed to
things such as water, and when you start walking a lot, they start to become very
soggy.
Yes, and they can break easily, and you don't want that. You want kind of like a long-lasting shoe. This particular plastic, I'm sorry, I'm going to steal it from you, is particularly thin. So if you can get some kind of plastic that is thicker, or even do two, like a plastic bag plus another plastic bag, kind of stick them together so that you have a thicker plastic to have as a bottom part.
But if you have a thin plastic bag like we do, try to make the holes not too close to the edge, like the plastic could break. So the next step is that we need to get some string like this, or some type of other type of string that doesn't have to be specifically this, or some type of material that can hold things together without breaking easily. So the reason we need the string is to sew the plastic and the carton using the hole. So while we are making the holes, we're sewing it together so we don't get out of control and all that. So you see the hole, and sometimes it's hard to get this string in this hole, so we use scissors to insert it. And you can see right now from this step that we're inserting it in. I forgot to cut the string, but it's important to cut the string. And then the next step is to puncture the hole in the puncture a hole in the plastic in the next hole that the carton has.
Pretty much what you're going to do through the whole step is puncture holes all over the plastic bag exactly, or close to where the carton is. And then you're going to sew the carton and the plastic together with the string, as the Ojin is doing.
And then next, like we're in the back, we do the same steps. Like here, after we puncture the hole. So we repeat the steps until we're done with the whole
entire shoe.
So we're done sewing it like this. It should come out like this. And the last step is just to tie the strings that you sewed it with together, so the strings do not come off. And then just tie it tightly. Okay. When we're done with this process, Sarah will explain to us what to do next.
Okay, so we're gonna cut this piece of string that was left. We're still gonna use more string, so. Okay, so we're cutting this string off to not have so much of it in the way while we're doing the next step. What we're gonna do next is gonna have our plastic. So in the materials it tells you exactly how much you need of each, more or less. So I have a lot here because of my foot is pretty big. So what you can do first, if Yojin can be my helper for the moment, you're gonna grab some bags that you have and you're gonna kind of like crunch them up. Oops, I took the pen with me. So you're gonna kind of crunch them up. Could you put your foot here? No, your foot. So you're gonna measure your own foot and see how many plastic bags you kind of need. Put down, to kind of cover and sustain your sides. So I have this. So now what you're going to do is you are going to get your string. I know it's going to be kind of excessive, but you're actually going to use a lot of it. Kind of a little lost, too much string here. So I'm going to cut a really, really, really big piece of string because we're going to use this string to go through the whole shoe. Okay, so I think I got a pretty big, large piece of string. So we're going to cut it. And now we grab our shoe. And it takes its time.
In order to make this shoe, you need a lot of patience.
Oh, yes, yes you do. Okay, so you're gonna put it through the hole, as I'm doing right now. As you can see, I made it through. What you do here is you're gonna make a, I'm not sure how these knots are called, I'm not a knot expert, but you're gonna grab and make it a little loop. Through the bottom you can see it's kind of like loose. And then you're gonna tie it kind of around your finger. And so you'll have something, like this. It's kind of like tying it. And then you're gonna pass it through the hole. And so it'll be something like this. This will create kind of like a stop. You'll see in just a second. A stop there, so you can be able to do the rest. You're going to cut what is left with the scissors. So you're going to make sure it's really, really tight. And that's how it's going to end up. Then I lost my plastic bags. Then you're going to grab your plastic bags, kind of roll them together. So that you have them strong. And so you're gonna have something like this, which is gonna, it's gonna be support for your sides. So what you're gonna do is, in this part, you're gonna place it, kind of bend it, and place it right through where the top of your toes would be.
Basically, you shape the plastic bags in the shape of your shoe.
Exactly.
Bottom part of the shoe.
Okay, so what you're going to do is, you see how it's like, you're going to pass it over and kind of underneath it. Once it's underneath it, you grab your end, which I completely lost. Oh, I found it. It's really long string. And so what I do is that I tie a small knot on the end of this so that you don't have to do it with the scissors as you did in the last step. This might work for some of you, maybe not. You can always use the scissors as well. I tie a pretty tight knot, as you can kind of see there, here. So I can pass that knot through the holes. So kind of make the holes biggish so I can pass this through. And so you're going to see how I'm going to pass it through each and one of the holes of the shoe. This is why you need a lot of patience, because it takes time. It really does. Time and patience, of course. And so it'll take you a lot of time since you have a lot of string, and all the string is going to be for the entire shoe. So you're going to go ahead and tighten it up. And so it's gonna be really tight. So you're gonna pass it again through the string, just like you did in the last step. Okay, so you will get to a point where something like this happens that you aren't able to go all the way. Now, this is not something to panic. You have to just grab more plastic bags and do the back of it. What I have here is kind of like not plastic. It's not really plastic. It's kind of like what would you call this here, Jane?
Carton chopping bag.
No, they have these bags in many places. They're kind of hard, cartonish. Sometimes your supermarket bags from organic stores have this kind of material. So what you're gonna do is usually in the supermarkets they don't have the handles, but what you're gonna do is take these handles off, of course. Which I should have probably done before. Okay, you're gonna grab another kind of plastic bag, and you're gonna roll this up a little bit. And I have another plastic bag here, which I'm also gonna roll up. This is also pretty big. So what you want to do is roll this bag, the kind of cartonish, inside the plastic bag so that it won't bother you. And the plastic bag is, of course, softer, so that will help you. You're going to see that this one in particular that I have right here is too big for the shoe. So you can always cut it, which is what I'm going to do. If my dear Yojin partner can help me. You can cut this part right here. So we recommend you to start from the top of it, and then when you add the cartonish part, add it at the end to have a support for your ankle, which is going to be much better. So what you're going to do is, with what you already have, you're going to add this to it. Kind of try to get it in there to be able kind of like to attach it together. And so of course this is going to be hard, and that's fine, it's okay. It was for us too, but that's why you need a lot of patience and a lot of strength. Let's see.
Okay, so we continue with the process,
And so the finished project, after you're able to do when you do the whole circuit, and you're gonna attach the both parts. You know, you have the back part and the front part. So what we're gonna do after this is I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry, we have some extra string in this one. Let me cut this off. Okay. So, I'm so sorry, folks. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to take the cardboard and we're going to make a
supporter up here for your leg to cover some part of your part of your leg. This part.
Feet.
Not
Sorry,
leg.
Foot. So, Yojin, could you do the honors of cutting it out? So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of like put the carton more or less on top and kind of check out kind of how big it is and trace that. So you're going to trace that, and then we're going to cut it. I'll show you how in a second. And so we're going to have kind of like a trace of kind of like what this part of the shoe looks like. And we're going to cut it. And so so your foot goes in. You have to cut kind of like wait a second. A kind of curved, kind of rainbow thing. Rainbow kind of shaped. So do you want to show them?
Basically, it has to be this shape, and after that, we start cutting it.
And we are done.
No,
okay.
We still have to.
We're done cutting it.
We're done cutting.
Okay, so you're going to see how it fits on the top. You're starting to already form your shoe. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut 14 holes on it. Two, relatively about an inch apart from each other. So you're going to have, yeah, about an inch apart from each other. So, would you want to do the holes? Okay, and you can see the holes. Okay, so what we're going to do next is you have your shoe, and if you remember the loop that you did at the beginning, this little loop, you're going to go ahead and pass the string through the loop. So I'm passing it right now through the loop. And so, you know, it's going to turn out something like this, just putting it through the loop. Other side, there you go. So what you're going to do is you're going to use now this part that you did, that you used when you were, you know, rolling it, when you're making the sides of your shoe. So you are going to, you already have your loop and everything. You're going to grab the top of your shoe, and you're going to place it on top of the, how would you say that, the front side of the shoe.
So it covers this part of your foot.
Okay, so you're going to, oopsie daisy. I guess the knot untied that I made. Just the knot is much easier for me. Okay, there you go. And you're going to pass it, I'll show you in a second, through these that you made just a second ago. A few minutes, really. And so you're going to pass it, and it's going to look something like this when you pass it through. Then you're going to grab your string, and again, you're going to sew it just like you did the bottom of the shoe. So you're going to go up through this first one. Oops. So you're going to go, oh my god. I've got terrible eyesight. That's why I wear glasses. So once you go up through one hole, you go back down through the next one that's like right beside it. And so you have something like this. And now, and so you're gonna grab that, like it's shown right here. Yes, and then you're gonna pass it through this one. So you're gonna pass it after doing up and down. Once you go down, you pass it through one of these vertical strings. You pass it through, you tighten it well, and so you do the same, going up through one hole, down through the other.
You repeat the process until you're done.
Exactly. And like Yojin said, you repeat the process until you're done. Okay, so once you are done, I will show you in just a second. You're gonna pass it back through the top of it. Looks like this. It's kind of, sorry, it's a little deformed. Obviously, you gotta make sure that it's well aligned, and then you're gonna pass it right back through the vertical lines up to where the loophole is, and then you're gonna tie it, and you're done. And so we are going to show you what the final one looks like.
And the final one looks like this.
And it's okay if you have some string left over, since obviously you began with a really, really long piece of string.
And also, if you feel like this bottom part is not enough support for your feet, you can get a piece of more plastic bag and stuff it in here and make a little more puffier surface to give a little more support to your leg. They look kind of like that, so you have a little more support, but you'll see go down when you put your foot. Thank you for watching our procedure, and we hope that your shoes come up like ours did.
I hope you enjoy making your shoes. Remember, you have to have a lot of patience, have all your materials, and good luck.
And remember, almost all of these materials are recycled, except
And
for the string.
Well, yes, you can find all of these almost anywhere. Yes, pretty much everywhere.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.